Adult Literacy Tutor Training. This is Module 3, Effective Tutoring and Logistics. Your passion for helping others in your community has led you to volunteer with Hawaii Literacy. Building literacy skills, especially with an adult who has struggled with reading and writing and may have other challenges or barriers, takes time. Keep in mind that you are only going to be meeting with your learner once, maybe twice a week for around an hour, hour and a half. We want to support you in making the most out of each of your sessions. Research shows that the relationship between the tutor and learner is one, if not the most important factor regarding a student's commitment to a tutoring program. In addition, the efficacy of the tutor and the instruction provided strongly influences the progress that they make in building their foundation of literacy skills. Here are some things that you can do to make your tutoring practice effective. Number 1, be patient, kind, supportive, and flexible. One of the most important parts of your job as a tutor is to help the learner feel and understand that they can succeed. Many learners have had a negative experience in the classroom or with academics in general. Your support can help them reframe those experiences into positive ones and will help them progress in their learning through building their confidence and their abilities. Also, being flexible and understanding within reason if your learner has to cancel a session. Adults are busy people and many of our learners have additional barriers and challenges. Number 2, be prepared. The provided curriculum does a great job of taking most of the work out of lesson planning. However, it is important that you review the material before working with your learner for a smooth and purposeful lesson. You may want to prepare some materials ahead of time for extra practice or review if you know that your learner may need it. In addition, you may want to bring in other real-world materials as a supplement to the curriculum to show the application of the things your learner is working on or to address your learner's goals. We are always available to help you find additional resources, materials, or assist you with your lessons as needed. Number 3, keep your learner's goals in mind. Some adults want to learn to read for the sake of reading itself, but many adults have a specific goal or idea in mind about how better literacy will improve their life. Helping your learner plan, check in, and track their progress towards these goals will help them stay committed to their sessions with you. Sometimes, learners have goals that transcend their current abilities. Being creative about ways you can incorporate your learner's goals or help them make accessible ones is one of the best ways that you can support your learner. The checklist starting on page 25 can be a good reminder of things that you can do to be an effective tutor. Even if you don't actually fill out the checklist, it is a good idea to periodically come back to the list and reflect on your practice as a tutor in regards to things that you're excelling at and ways that you can improve. Here's a sample list of some learners' goals related to literacy. Sometimes our tutors simultaneously work on the reading curriculum and help learners with other goals related to literacy. For example, some learners may be very interested in learning to read cooking recipes. Part of the session may be spent doing that strategically. Other learners may have goals of getting a driver's license, and part of the lesson may be spent looking through the driver's ed manual. Other learners may want to be able to communicate with their child's teacher, and the tutor provides support in that area. Your learner may have both short and long-term goals to keep in mind. Maybe your learner's ultimate goal is to take the GED in order to get their alternative high school diploma, but their reading level isn't equivalent to what would be necessary for them to be successful. Working on short-term goals, as well as their ultimate long-term goal, may help your learner stay motivated and focused. When we introduce you to your learner, we can discuss ways to manage their goals, and as you get to know them, you will participate in their goal-setting process. You may want to create a goal sheet with your learner in order to track their progress. Similarly, a finished curriculum level is a great achievement which should be celebrated and will be discussed in a future module. We recommend that all learners and tutors meet in a public area. There are suggested meeting places in your manual. We also have learner and tutor pairs that find it more effective or convenient to meet online. There will be a future module that addresses this topic. There's a good chance both you and your learner will be nervous for your first meeting. Admitting that you are unable to read is shameful and your learner could have been waiting to begin this journey for a very long time. The primary purpose of the first meeting is to get acquainted. The first session should not be a working session. It is time to talk story with your learner and begin to feel more comfortable with each other. The first meeting should take place in an informal public setting, such as a restaurant, cafe, or park. Though you may end up working with your learner out of a library, This might not be ideal for your first meeting. Many learners have expressed that the library is a bit intimidating to them because of their challenges. Make sure that you give your learner a way to identify you when you set up your first meeting. For example, when meeting potential learners for assessments, we often tell them that we will have a specific colored folder with us. This eliminates anyone having to feel embarrassed or unsure of who they are looking for. In the first meeting, you can discuss the logistics of your tutoring sessions. How often will you meet and where? What will be the protocol if one of you is unable to make a scheduled session? What is the preferred method of communication? You can explain that you will be using books to teach skills and ask them about any other materials they may want to incorporate into their sessions. You can ask probing questions about what they would like to read or write and for what purpose if they don't immediately come with ideas. You may want to flip through the books, but only if it feels comfortable or appropriate. Remember, some learners want their tutoring experience to be kept private and not obviously displayed. Some learner-tutor pairs decide that they would like to create and sign a contract together to make the agreement more formal. This is not required and should only be done if both parties agree and it fits your personality. In addition, you can ask your learner questions about themselves, their families, and their hobbies, and offer to share about yourself. Hawaii Literacy staff will have already briefed you on the learner and provided you with the information they collected during the assessment to aid in outlining some topics that might inspire conversation. Make sure that you convey your excitement to your learner and that you are there to help and support them. The most important part of the meeting is conveying that you believe they can succeed. After your first meeting, you should contact the program office to let them know it was a success and ask for any materials you may need if you have not gotten them already. This ends Module 3. Please take the corresponding quiz and make note of any questions that you may have.